Oh, don't I look nice and orange? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we're live. You are.
Hold on, please. Now I can hear you.
Good. Well, we're live.
We're testing different laptop webcams, and they're all fucking terrible.
Watch the F-bombs.
Oh yeah, we live. What I meant, Brad, was they are lackluster in many ways.
Why is my white balance all jacked up?
Ad-supported HBO Max is coming in June. Isn't the point of HBO that we don't have ads?
I need to change something.
So the further I went into that Google thing, the crazier it is. Oh, God, bless them for just making this day worth living.
Let's see.
Oh, I should probably close this down.
Hold on. I'm gonna send you something on Teams, and you'll see. Mm-hmm. You'll see why I'm sending this to you on Teams.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind when I.
Which post? Oh, about the okay. Good.
Yep. So just keep that in mind when we talk about it.
I'm actually surprised you didn't contact me.
Well, you weren't drunk and rambling on Twitter about it.
Well, actually, I was, but
oh, were you?
Yeah, just once. I've now described them as unhinged.
All right, you ready?
Am I ready?
Oh, I'm not even ready. Hold on.
Ready. Ready?
All right. Nope. All right. Today's podcast is brought to you by itpro.tv. You can go to itpro.tv/ring for a...
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Like that? I did too.
Turning it up. You sure it's ring?
Oh, I forgot.
I am now blurry and orange.
I was going to say, for people who complained that your previous webcam was bad.
Yeah, see? It can get worse.
What?
So I tested during... Actually, I should have tested this with you before because during our meeting, we had 10 participants, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. I couldn't see any of you.
Yeah.
So it was a different laptop. Actually, the thing is, I just noticed it's not properly on the stand. That could have fallen off at any time. Anyhow, so today I decided to test a different laptop, which I think actually has a better webcam than the one I used yesterday. But looking at it now, I don't know. Is this like a webcam from the 1990s?
Yeah, I was gonna. Is this a Microsoft LifeCam? Like
you understand? Yeah, it's an HP laptop. But I'll just say this might be the reason why people were looking for webcams, because after they got home, they were using, for work last year, they started using their laptops and they were like, is this what we've been working with? It's not good.
I feel the same way. But
that was good.
Yep. Here we are. We'll just go right into it. So, for those who are catching up on life, and I don't blame you, Microsoft went to the Congress. I believe it was Brad Smith that he was the one testifying.
Yeah, like virtually. Yep.
Yeah. So Microsoft is testifying at an antitrust case, and it involves Google. And Microsoft has backed effectively the antitrust argument and the journalism argument that Google has done some things and that they control the market, and that I'm not saying that Microsoft's a saint in any capacity, because they've done some really shady stuff over the years. But in this particular instance,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but people will often bring up this stuff like that. They'll say, well, Microsoft, blah, 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 so they deserve this. It's like, guys, that's not how the world works. Okay. And by the way, just to put some numbers to Microsoft's complaint against Google, they did pull out the advertising revenue of this nation's largest nation's newspapers, fell from $49.4 billion in 2005 to $14.3 in 2018. During the same time, Google's advertising revenue rose from $6.1 billion to $116 billion. This is not a coincidence, Mr. Smith says.
So they are in there talking. And then Google put out a post. I believe it was written by their legal counsel. Is that correct?
Kent Walker. Yep, that's right.
And
he is to Google what Brad Smith is to Microsoft.
Yes. And so this blog post, and we'll get into some nuts and bolts theory here in a little bit, but this blog post starts out defending journalism and defending the practice that Google is doing with paying journalistic companies and the like. That's like the first paragraph. And then the next like 2 or 3 paragraphs are attacking Microsoft for things like SolarWinds.
Oh my God. I know. Please don't get too far into this because it's beautiful. It's this, you know what this is, dude? Last May, it was Frank Shaw who brought to light the fact that Amazon had been secretly petitioning to overturn the Jedi ruling that Microsoft got for that huge contract. And they decided to go public with it. And then Amazon's response to this was May 2020, is one of the most unhinged things I've ever read. And it's like the corporate version of you send a scathing email response to everyone you work with, and then you're like, crap, I probably should have sat on that for a few. You know, it's unhinged. And this post by Google is exactly the same. It's crazy.
They attack Microsoft for putting vulnerabilities into their software and not patching them and exposing. Like, it's too. So you start with journalism.
That is not.
I don't know what happens down here. Like,
let me just. Can I just read a few parts of this, because the craziness of this makes me crazy. Kent Walker describes Microsoft's efforts here as naked corporate opportunism. Right. I mean, of course, we respect Microsoft's success. Whatever that. Oh, who cares? Where is this thing? Microsoft is now making self-serving claims and are even willing to break the way the open web works in an effort to undercut a rival. Now, Microsoft has literally said that is not what they're doing, but naked corporate opportunism and self-serving behavior. Yeah. Microsoft isn't a person. It's a company, and its job is to be self-serving in the form of rewarding its shareholders, which are the owners of the company. They do that by making their own products better, and they do that by taking down rivals, sometimes through advertising, sometimes through lobbying, sometimes through this kind of thing. Companies did this with Microsoft when they were in the antitrust hot seat or whatever. I mean, this is just whatever. It's a company. But the thing that you just said, this is the best part. He says, it's no coincidence that Microsoft's newfound interest in attacking us comes on the heels of the SolarWinds attack. And at a moment where, and then I think he's referencing this other exchange-related thing. Actually, it is a coincidence. Microsoft didn't engineer the timing of this. This is happening to Google, whether or not SolarWinds happened. It's happening to Google, whether or not the exchange thing happened. Microsoft didn't orchestrate this. They literally reacted to what was happening and said, yeah. Now, I pointed out in the past, Microsoft can do this, like you said, not because they're a saint, not because they're perfect, not because they're necessarily better, although I think they are a better company, but whatever. They could do it because they don't make 80% of the revenues from ads. They make nothing from ads, roughly speaking. This is where Google is vulnerable. And that's why you go after them for this. This is, naked corporate opportunism, I suppose. You could call it that, but it's just competitive smarts, right?
Well, I think there's some...
You got a question? Okay.
No.
Yes.
I agree with you. Like, Brad Smith going to Congress, and everything that Google wrote in that post changes nothing with what Brad Smith said when it comes to the facts of the newspaper industry and it being destroyed and the advertising industry being destroyed. None of that changes. Here's, this is some just crazy multiple minds coming together to put together. Why would Microsoft, why would Google do this? Let me phrase it this way, Paul. now that Google has put this crazy post out there, a lot of the headlines are going to be making it seem like it's Google versus Microsoft,
Right.
which is a much better headline for Google than Google versus antitrust.
Every single person that writes news.
Or Google versus small town newspaper. So it seems like they put this out there inflammatory blog post intentionally to deflect from the fact that Google is being effectively sued by the government for anti-competitive practices.
Yeah. I mean, the deal that Google made with the Australian major news creators was something about like $100 million, something like that. $116 billion in ad revenues over whatever X number of years that was. Yeah, they can afford to pay for the news. I mean, let's not forget that Google has literally been scraping news and putting it on their own site for years. Like they've just been.
Well, they do worse than that. I mean, that is what they do, but like they do. Yeah. Perfect example on Petri. They will rip content out of a Petri blog post that is an IT Pro help article and just slap it right at the top of a search thing. And I've seen posts go from like tens of thousands of page views a month or week even to like almost nothing, because why would you click on it?
That's the cut and paste. I mean, that's what happens, right? In other words, and Smith early on in his testimony describes the way that one of the Google co-founders described Google.com at the time, 15 years ago or whatever, that the point of this thing was to be as fast as possible to get people off of Google.com as quickly as possible. Because he was thinking about it like a scientist. Like his idea was like, if we do our job correctly, the people will find exactly what they want. They'll go to the right place and they'll be done with us, and that's very, that's ethically sound, and it sounds like a great idea, but it's not really a good business, is it? So
nope.
Google has adapted over the years to be more self-serving and to be more opportunistic, I guess we'll say, and to use some language that came out recently. And, they've been very successful as a result. Microsoft is a bigger company than Google. I believe they are the second biggest company in the world by market cap today, if I'm not mistaken, behind Apple and ahead of Google and Amazon and whatever. But, whatever. It's a kind of a close race there. But they've done so by selling products and services to customers. Google does sell products and services to customers, but Google's customers are advertisers. They're not you. And they're not individuals, and whatever. They have their, and it's a legitimate way of doing business. I'm not putting it down, but I think anyone who is a fan of Google, if you're like a Android enthusiast or whatever you are, you have to have this thing in the back of your head. Like, one of the little problems is this company has built up these products solely through the success of an advertising business. They're not really a technology company, even though they have massive amounts of technology, and they make some good stuff. We talk about this all the time. They really do. That's not really the point, but there has to be a little bit of a cog in the back where it's like, man, it's just kind of a tough thing. I mean, Microsoft, look, we cover Microsoft extensively. We have a lot of years of experience with them, good, bad, and different. There's all kinds of things that go on there for sure. But at the end of the day, what they're selling you something that you can use, and that's your choice, of course, whether you want to or not. I feel like that is a better relationship and a healthier relationship for both the business and for its customers. That's all.
Yeah. It's
my little soapbox.
I don't know if Microsoft's going to respond to that Google post.
I don't think they have to. The beautiful thing about this Google post is it's just kind of anyone with look, like, so there are people like me and you who write for Google blogs, right? And are they going to write editorials where they're like, yeah, Google's right, Microsoft's a dick. They were, remember, when was that? 1990 something. It was a while ago, but they were really bad. Yeah, they were. They were. I remember that. I had my own crisis of confidence during that time. I wanted Microsoft to be split up, for sure. They were terrible. But you know what? Compared to the impact that Google has in the world today, Microsoft is a kid at home making little cardboard cutouts and pasting them up, putting them on the refrigerator. This is nothing. It's not even comparable.
Did you just compare Microsoft to my pig?
I was thinking of your daughter more than the pig, but yeah, like a child.
So we'll see what goes on here. This is it's a fascinating blog post. Everybody should read it at some point in their lifetime.
Yeah, I recommend that as well. And I don't expect Microsoft replies explicitly, because why would they need to? It's just the Google thing. It's just thank you for putting it out there. You can't pull it now. It's there. Everyone can see it. and you can see exactly like the irrationality of the argument is so beautiful. It is not a coincidence, is what literally one of the paragraphs starts. It's like, yeah, it is. It is literally. It's literally any thinking person will know this is a coincidence.
Other coincidence you should take note of is that you should head on over to itpro.tv/ring, because itpro.tv is a skills development platform addressing the global IT skills gap by providing online training for IT professionals at every stage of their career. With training that's more like a talk show, IT pros watch more and learn more with an affordable, convenient, and better than classroom experience. Learn on the go at your own pace. Business and personal memberships available. And if you go to itpro.tv/ring, then you can get.
Don't hurt yourself, man.
I know I'm going to throw my
fall off the seat or whatever.
But you can go there and get a First Ring Daily coupon. And I think this is actually their last sponsorship, at least for this run. We'll have and appreciate these guys. Yeah, go click that link or something. Anyways, Paul, Microsoft shut down a lot of stuff this week. Okay, ready for this?
Yep. Okay.
Paint 3D.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Edge.
Yeah. Legacy Edge. Yeah.
Microsoft Store for Business.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Microsoft Store for Education.
Mm-hmm.
And Xbox One Drive or Xbox One Guide.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Are any of those worse than Google Reader?
No. I guess maybe if you're making a living off of the Microsoft Store for Business.
God help you if that was what was happening. But
the weird thing here is I guarantee there are some people. So the short version of the news is they're starting the wind down process. They're not officially saying they're shutting it down, but you can no longer browse the store without an Azure Active Directory account. You can no longer buy anything through the store.
Okay.
But what's going to be really odd here, so let's say you did buy an app through the store and you had a bunch of licenses. You will be able to continue to license and like redeploy those licenses, but you can't buy any new licenses for that product through the store. So
you're saying if you had previously done this with a non-AAD account?
No, just any account.
Just in general. Oh, I see.
Yeah. So if you were buying an app through the business store, you have 5 licenses, and let's say you need one more, well, now you have to buy that outside the store and have fun managing that.
Yeah, especially if there are different conditions, which there can be, I suppose.
Yep. So,
okay.
This does not impact the Microsoft or the Minecraft Store for Education, I think it's called. So that is.
Minecraft will be the last thing standing when everything else goes south.
Yep.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
Bunch of stuff kind of heading out for the weekend, if you will.
I feel like we need to talk about the weather, which is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a little chillier here. You probably have perfect weather that we had a couple days ago.
Perfect. Yeah, it's 70 yesterday, 65 today.
Mm-hmm. You got rain coming?
If we do, it's not much, and it's in the near future. Also, the snow is like just almost disappeared. I thought this stuff was going to be sitting on the ground in June. There was so much of it.
Looking at the radar.
Yeah, that's worked out nicely. So
because I got a giant 3 yards of dirt. Oh yeah, where did it all go? Like it dumped here overnight, and then it just disappeared before it got to you.
Yeah, we have a couple of spotty days of rain to look forward to in the next week or whatever. But yeah, we got flowers popping out of the ground, buds on the trees. It's happening.
It is. I've got dirt.
Also happening. I told you guys at work, but I got my vaccination appointment, which I'm very excited about. I don't remember if I told this joke on the air, but I had the opportunity potentially to go through Durney Park, which is a local amusement park, and it's like one of those drive-through scenarios. You stay in your car and you pop your arm out, whatever. And I told my wife, I was like, if I get to go to Durney Park and drive through and get my vaccination, I'm just going to keep driving. I'm going to go to the airport. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I don't know where I'm going. I'll just
where with the first plane, right?
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, I can't wait. It is amazing because this week marks the 1-year anniversary. I posted a couple things on Twitter. Richard came out and visited. We went to Steel Stacks, and then our kids were in Jamaica, and my wife took a screenshot of her phone. It was Governor Wolf here in Pennsylvania, ordered on March 13th, 2020, so 1 year ago tomorrow, that all Pennsylvania schools will be closed for 10 days. And I don't mean to ruin the end of the book, but it was longer than 10 days. Yeah, my daughter never went back to school, never had a prom, and she had what we'll call a belated drive-through ceremony for graduation, which honestly was better than nothing. But what a crap year,
Yeah. Yeah, I've got to move my dirt. I got to fill in my trenches that I've made, and who doesn't love significant
a little trench filling?
Yeah, that and the low spots and a little regrading, if you will. 3 yards of America's finest topsoil sitting on my driveway.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, just going to be a lot of backbreaking labor, my favorite thing.
I mean, I wish I could help you, but, the COVID thing and uncertainty, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you can try. You could also head on over to itpro.tv/ring for sponsoring today's podcast. We have a big shout out to them, and we will catch all of you back here on Monday.
I'll have another crappy webcam you can complain about.
If Microsoft's naked, does that make us the loincloth since we cover them?
Yikes. And no. No.
Oh, man. All right. I need to go edit this and get this fixed.
The weekend start?
What?
Take a nap and let the weekend start?
Well, that would be... No, the weekend starts when I throw a pair of shorts on and go grab the wheelbarrow and start.
When are you going to do that? About 2 o'clock?
Probably about 3.
Shoot. I never stopped my workout. Damn it. Apparently I worked out for 155 minutes and 35 seconds. It was closer to 20 minutes.
You earned that cookie.
Oh, well.
All right. Later.
Bye.